Now, we've had some breaking news out of Melbourne regarding the Victorian Liberal Party. Joining me now is our Victoria political reporter, Simon Love. Simon, thanks for your time. Tell me, what's the latest?
James, Sam Groth, the former tennis ace and the Victorian Shadow Minister for Sport, has resigned from John Pesutto's shadow cabinet. He released a statement around about 50 minutes ago in which he stated, "At all times in my life, both professionally and personally, I have believed in acting with integrity. I have believed it is with regret that following yesterday's federal court judgment against John Pesutto and his subsequent decision to remain as Liberal leader, I've decided to resign from his front bench. In good conscience, I can no longer continue to serve in this role." Now, I've spoken with a number of Liberal MPs since that statement came out, and it's a bit of a mixed response. One Liberal MP has told me that, quote, he is a fraud. Another has told me that Sam Groth has done the decent thing and resigned. So this is an interesting move from Sam Groth, given that he has publicly stated in the past that he has ambitions to become the leader of the Victorian Liberal Party. Now, whether he is resigning from the shadow cabinet and the front bench in order to launch a possible leadership spill or a leadership challenge, that is yet to be seen. But Sam Groth, who is a first-term member of Victorian Parliament, a long-time Olympian, tennis ace. He had portfolios in John Pesutto's cabinet, shadow cabinet, tourism, sport, events and youth. He has now decided he can no longer serve under John Pesutto as leader and has quit the front bench. This is quite a development that things are moving quite quickly within the Liberal Party. There are conversations, there are phone calls occurring at the moment. Whether a spill or at least a notice of intention for a spill to be called could happen over the next 24, 48, 72 hours, that's really yet to be seen. But the first salvo in this has certainly been fired with Sam Groth stating that he will no longer serve on the front bench. He's stated he's not going to be making any further comment at this time. Now, one other potential leadership contender that has not stated any intentions publicly is Brad Batten. And he's the person that went up against John Pesutto in the leadership ballot after the 2022 state election. Quite interestingly, James, he is scheduled and still scheduled to appear on air right here on Sky with Steve Price in around about 60 minutes' time. So it'll be fascinating to see what he has to say in response to this. But the breaking news again, Sam Groth, former tennis ace, shadow minister in John Pesutto's front bench, has quit, and we will wait and see whether this has any further ramifications on John Pesutto's leadership. No official comment out of Mr Pesutto's office at this point in time.
Well, I tell you what, Simon, anyone who was considering will I or will I not watch Steve Price's program, which follows this, will now be absolutely glued to the television to see what happens. It certainly seems like any hopes John Pesutto had of just sort of, sailing through to Christmas and this will all be forgotten. That is not going to be the way this unfolds. We appreciate you joining us tonight. Thanks, Simon Love.